Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I fixed the problem. I fixed it. Yeah, we're gonna let a few more people come in the room. Give it a second. I might have to cut these lights on in here, man. It got all gloomy and shit. Man, goddamn. It got gloomy already. Shit. Sun was out a minute ago. Man, it look ugly as a motherfucker out here. God damn. Oh, that motherfucker coming home right there. Yeah, we're gonna let a few more people get in the room and go ahead and get this party started. God damn it. Got a few more people here. For sure. Timmy Diamonds was popping, yo. T Mason 995 was popping. Hassan Sealy was cracking, yo. Let's see here. You know what? I didn't let people know. Did I tell people? I'm trying to remember that if I tell people. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just need a little something, little pullover, man. Yeah, I'll be finding these little joints in the clearance, on the clearance rack. I found this shit, man. This shit was damn near $100, man. I got this for like $20-something. Real talk. Sure did. I'll be popping in these stores when they be trying to get rid of stuff on clearance. Man, I'll be finding so much stuff that regular priced $125 and shit like that. Get that shit for $20-something. I said, get the fuck out of here. $20? I saw, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, man. I'll be finding them deals, man. Macy's be having a lot of deals, man. Believe it or not, I know they retail, but you know, man, I found workout clothes for dirt cheap, cheaper than that shit at like somewhere like Dick's, you know, or the Nike store. They got a Nike store up here down in Portland. What's the name of that? It's a Nike outlet store. It's like in northeast Portland. Shit, you know, man. Sometimes you can pop in there, find some joints in there for pretty good price. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a lot of I get a lot of stuff. I don't never pay. Very seldom do I pay full price for anything. I get stuff cheap, man. That's why, you know, a lot of broads, man, they be trying to, you know, be like, how come you ain't, you know, how come you ain't one of these, you know, one of these asshole type dudes that, you know, just trying to, you know, primp all the time and, you know, hey, look at me, you know, Donald Trump type asshole. I said, dude, that ain't never been my style, man. That's why I be trying to explain to y'all. Y'all, people used to get on my case about, well, Ice, you one of these college educated niggas that, be putting us down. I said, dog, if you knew my background, you would say that. That's why I did that video once upon a time. The Iceman was Dusty. That's why I did that video. Because people think I'm living some kind of charmed life. And I'm like, dude, I'm not. I'm telling you. I still got a lot of personal debt from when I was married that I still got to pay off. I still got to pay off a lot of that. Man, I ain't paid off, man. I got hella debt. I told y'all that from day one. I ain't trying to front. I tell y'all know me, dog. I ain't never try to come on here and front and say, oh, look at me, man. I'm balling. Yeah, I'm doing good for me. But, am I like, about to go get, about to start leasing a G4? Hell no. But I do better than most for independent contractor, for somebody who works for himself. I do pretty good. But I ain't trying to get rich, man. I just want enough. As long as I got a new car in the driveway, I got plenty of food in here. And if I don't have all the food that I need, I know I can buy it if I wanted to. I just don't keep a lot of food because it ends up spoiling, and I don't end up eating it. So it's like it's just me over here. I ain't trying to feed nobody. So you dig? So that's why I tell cats, yeah, I got 2 master's degree, but dude, if you knew my story, you'd be like, man, you more like us than I thought. And I did get those emails. Cats was like, man, I just didn't know, man. I said, well, you never asked. You never asked no question. I haven't had a lot of people ask me about my background. Hey, what's up, JL J50 504 HD? What's cracking? Timmy Diamond's always in the house. But that's part of the discussion we're going to have tonight is, you don't assume that everybody's story has been rosy. Just because my college degrees don't mean shit. I should be way ahead of. If I was a white guy, I'd be a millionaire. You see what I'm saying? If I was a white guy, I'd be a millionaire. With my education level and my work experience, I would be a millionaire. But because I'm black, and then too, I've had my struggles over the years that kind of killed some of my success. Some of my corporate American, my success that I probably would have had I not had breaks in employment. Y'all see what I'm saying? And Swole Hip Hop Head, what's cracking, yo? Yeah, man. I used to live in Austin. I actually was living in Austin. I just didn't say, but I moved to San Antonio because it was just I wanted to be closer to military installations and stuff like that. Austin doesn't have any of that. There's no military base. You got Fort Hood, man, but that's like, that's 80 miles away trying to get to Fort Hood from Austin. That's not a hop, skip, and a jump. There's 2 ways you can go. You can go that, I don't know if it's 161, something. It's one of them. There's a state highway that goes to Killeen from I-35. And that's the long way, but there's a shorter way, I think, through Lampasas. I think one of the it's about 2 or 3 ways to get to Killeen, but Killeen ain't an easy city to get to, as you already know. Just like trying to drive from San Antonio to Lubbock, man, it's like that's a fucked up drive, taking all them state highways. Now during the day it ain't bad because you can speed, but at night I hate going through there because there ain't no lights, ain't shit out there. But yeah, by that time I was in San Antonio. Yeah, last year of my school, I was in San Antonio by then. Man, let me get something real quick. Gonna let a few more people get in the room. And that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I started doing this show, is because I wanted to share my experiences with people so they see that I'm a real dude. I ain't no cardboard cutout. You know, I'm a real dude. I know where you've been, because for some of y'all, I've been there. I know what it's like to be sitting in jail and you don't know if this is going to be a long-term thing. You got all these weirdos. You're around all these weirdos. You're around all these lowlifes and shit. You around these crazy motherfuckers. There's some scary motherfuckers in jail, man. That's how niggas be getting their ass beat. You know, you got a lot of old crazy violent motherfuckers in there, and they just be in there. They ain't got nothing but time. They ain't got nothing but time. People don't understand that. See, if you ain't never been in jail, you don't understand that shit. But when you go, it's like when you go to jail and you sitting in that cell, it's like, even though you comfortable and everything, it's just like, it's just a situation you really don't want to be in, man. Niggas got all day to think of ways of fucking you up. That shit get old. For a nigga that ain't used to being in no cage, I didn't like that shit. I hated getting transported, going to and from jail. I didn't like none of that shit. You know, little ass. Look, dude, I'm almost 5'8". We sitting in a fucking truck that looks like it's something for the fucking dog pound. And you sitting in there, you know, I'm 5. Yeah, look how short I am, and I gotta lean down because you could hit my head on the top of that thing. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? I mean, they just do shit just to fuck with you. I'm talking about the system, the correction system, whether it's county jail, prison. It just, you know, if you ain't used to going to jail, man, that one time gonna straighten your ass up. Because it ain't a life you want to be dealing with, man. It just isn't. It isn't, man. That's why when you see these niggas going in and out of jail, you be like, nigga, you just institutionalized. When you see cats going in and out of jail like that, going in and out of prison, they used to that shit. And they know niggas in there. So them niggas is cool. They go in there, they be like, oh man, my nigga Reg in there. I ain't worried about shit. My nigga Reg got 7 years like I did. So some of them guys can last that long, but it's an insane fucking environment, man. It's not normal for a man or woman to be in a cage like that, man. And I used to work in a kiddie jail when I was undergrad. When I was an undergrad in criminal justice, I used to work at the county juvenile detention center, man. And man, that shit, ooh, dude, seeing them kids in them cages like that, dude, that shit is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, man. It was hard for me to come to work, dude, because I couldn't stand seeing them young men in that situation. A lot of them, they ain't thugs, man. They ain't hard like that. They just out there stealing and because it was a family friend whose kid was in there at the same time I was working in there. I had to avoid her ass. I knew her son was in there, and I saw her visiting him. But when I saw her in the visiting room, I avoided that motherfucker because I didn't want her to see me, because I know I didn't want her to be embarrassed, because she was a very sweet lady. She was probably about 10 years older than me. She was a little older than me and my ex-wife. She knew my ex-wife. She knew my ex-wife's mother. Them two went to school together. That's what it was. She was one of her friends. And she used to work at the college my ex-wife used to go to. And she used to look out for my ex-wife while she was at school. So she was a very sweet lady, man. One of the nicest black women you ever want to meet. Just old school, man. And then I met her when I started going to school up there. Yeah, she's good people, man. But I hated to see her son in there, and he could tell he wasn't no street nigga, man. He had been stealing. I looked on the computer to look up his charges, and I was like, damn, when you living in an all-white town, you do not want to get no jail record, man. And juvenile, yeah, used to be they just automatically expunged your record once you became an adult, so that shit didn't follow you. Now that shit's following these. Sometimes it ain't automatic that they expunge your record, man. You got to make sure you do that yourself, because that stuff could be popping up on you when you go to apply for jobs and apartments and shit. And that's why I want to talk about, positive energy, positive thinking. You don't want to be having stinking thinking. Them kids wasn't worse. No, they wasn't bad in a bad. No, a lot of those kids actually were just acting like young kids. But when they finally got in there and they got 3 hots in a cot, some of them kids probably acted better in there than they did outside, because they were like somebody was taking care of them. But no, those kids, they were sweet kids. Some of those kids are nice. Some of them were assholes, but they were assholes because of how they were raised. I remember one time, like the first day I worked there was a dude, there was this big old boy, man. He's probably my height, but he was 250 pounds, man. Big old strong boy. He probably was about 15, 16. And he wouldn't come out his cell, so they had to go in there and get his ass. And they, that big old nigga, that big old cock strong nigga, man, them big niggas, there was some big niggas in there. Niggas that played football. They couldn't hold that little nigga. They couldn't hold his big ass. It took like 4 of us to hold him down. And them guys, if they got a mental disorder or they got some serious anger issues, they just don't care. Oh, dude, them the worst ones. So that's why you got to watch out for them. The girls were worse than the boys, though. The girls over there whooping them white girls' asses. Them white girls would be over there calling them little black girls nigger and stuff like that. They beat their ass. Okay? That was funny. Because I can't stand them Michigan redneck motherfuckers. Yeah. But the power of positive thinking should not be underestimated, because a lot of people don't really get that the energy you put out here in the universe, that when you talk about laws of attraction, when you put that bad energy out there, that shit comes back to you, man. It may not come back to you right away. It might come back to you immediately, but it's going to come back to you in some kind of way. So that's why they say don't go around fucking people over when you're young, because when you get old and nice and laid back and you ain't the person you was 20 years ago, some of them folks from your past might come looking for your ass. They might come get with your ass. I've heard of that happening. Some people don't forget how you treated them. That's why I don't treat people like shit, man. That's why when people come after me and troll my account and call and say all kind of unfair things, it doesn't bother me in an emotional way. It just makes me wonder what's really going on in this person's head, because I can read somebody's writing and say there's a mental disorder here. This person got something wrong with her, because how can you be that evil towards somebody you don't know? Motherfuckers don't know me personally. Yeah, you see my face. You probably looked at hundreds of videos I've done, but I know damn good and well you don't know me, because I don't know you. Yeah, are we familiar with each other? Yeah, we familiar with each other to a certain degree, but it ain't like you're going to have me over for steak anytime soon. So, I'm willing to respect people in that, and respect people's boundaries and not go after people unless they go after me. But some of these people are so exhausting. I just let these invisible niggas just You know, I just let these niggas fall off the face of the earth, because after a while with no audience, they give up and they leave you alone. But it's just sad that you got males that act like that. That's why you know you're dealing with a lot of bitch ass dudes out here. It's a lot of bitch ass dudes out here, man. There's a lot of cats out here bitch made, and they're emotional. I mean, dude, I have looked at I don't know how many videos, not necessarily looked at in its entirety, but I've looked at some of these videos that some of these twerp ass niggas do online, and it's just some, you know, some scorn nigga, some little scorn nigga nerd that called Tariq's show, and Tariq didn't, you know, massage his balls the way he really wanted his balls massaged. So now he's trying to shit on Tariq by making a hit piece video talking shit, talking about Tariq's an animal, Tariq's this, Tariq's a selfish bastard. And this guy's talking shit like he know the dude. And I'm like, what do you sound like a jilted lover, nigga. Men don't act like that. You don't, you know, how many times you see me make a video talking about another man like that? I don't care if it's a woman. You talking like you know the dude personally because you called his show and he kiss your ass, or you called this, said some more moist shit and he clown your ass. So now you mad at Tariq Nasheed. Now you got to make, you know, these, and then some of these videos so ridiculous. And, you know, because you look at all the other videos, you look at all their other videos that they got posted, and, you know, most of their videos may only got about 100, 200 views. And every video they make about Dr. Umar, they make about you know, Tariq Nasheed, it's got, you know, 20,000 views. So it's obvious what these niggas are doing. And I'm like, dude, you don't know this dude. Why you talking like you met him at the club, he fucked you in the ass real good, and you know, now you got a sore booty hole and a broken heart. And I'm like, that's not normal. See, that's why I be telling y'all, man, everybody ain't a homo. But guys that think like a woman, that's a man, that's a male that thinks like a woman, that talks like that. They're talking like they fucked Tariq or something. And now they a scorn nigga nerd. They're like, dude, what is wrong with you? But you got some weak ass beta male, female thinking dudes out here. They you know, they're not homosexual, but the stuff they do is the kind of stuff that women do. Trolling people's channels and that kind of shit, coming by saying little stupid shit and just making fools out of themselves. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? You need a hug, nigga? It make you wonder what kind of people are really out here sitting in front of these computers, man. That's why I'm like, man, you know, people said, you know, I had people say you should have never revealed your face, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. And I said, I ain't got a problem with it, because the real niggas are going to be the ones who going to tune in. The rest of these bogus niggas ain't going to do that. I got about 100 real niggas that been with me since day one. Okay, a lot of you guys, some of us on here, we done had some words here and there, but that's what, you know, that's what happens with family. You know, niggas fall out with each other, and, you know, they get back cool again. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if you look at my track record, man, I've been a real nigga the whole time. I ain't never went Hollywood. You ain't never seen me go Hollywood and start, you know, cooning for eyeballs. I ain't never done that. Yeah, I could be getting 20,000 views for these videos, but I talk about stuff people don't want to talk about. People don't want to be real, man. People don't want to be real. People want to be fake. And they want fake niggas. They want to tune in to fake niggas that's trying to get a sitcom. I ain't trying to get a sitcom. I ain't on here doing coonish dumbass shit just so I can get a every one of these YouTube niggas that get picked up or out here to do movies and TV shows. Man, these dudes are horrible actors. The only reason why these guys are on on those shows is because of their number of YouTube followers. It ain't because these guys got talent. They just want clicks. But the power of positive thinking is a motherfucker. It is. It is. I'm not talking about going to a Tony Robbins self-help seminar. I'm not talking about the fast food approach. I'm talking about making actual changes that have to be made so that you can be a better man or woman. And a lot of us don't understand that process. We want some fast food shit. We want some shit to pop off yesterday. And when it don't work out, then we like, well, the Iceman's a fraud. That's why I don't sell fast food self-help. I sell long-term, steady as we go, self-help services like life coaching so that you become a better man and never go back to the old you. A lot of motherfuckers like to be the old version of themselves their whole lives instead of being able to be that powerful person that can move on from shit. I've had a lot of trauma in my life over the years, but as you can see, I'm still standing. Some niggas ain't standing. Some niggas are not here no more. Okay? But I thank God that I have survived this long and that I'm able to be of some use to people. Because some people really take, like some of y'all might not take seriously what I do, but some people, it's life or death for them. They send me emails, said, Ice, I'm suicidal, man. I need help. I need to talk to somebody. I don't want to talk to them 800 number motherfuckers. Some cats don't want to call that number because, you know, they got guns in the house. You know, because sometimes you call these 800 numbers, they'll send a whole army of police officers to your house along with the fire department. Now you got a fucking hook and ladder fucking truck sitting out in front of your house just to come over there and see if you're going to kill yourself. Ain't that a bitch? That's why I tell veterans, don't call, you know, I tell if you just so desperate, you got to call that VA 800 number, you know, suicide hotline, call them. But I tell people, man, there's other numbers you can call where they don't send cops to your goddamn house. Because as soon as you say, hey, you know, I'm a Marine, you know, I'm a vet, you know, you know, I'm having some problems, you know, my wife talking about I need to call, I'm talking about hurting myself. You know what they're going to do? They're going to send the cavalry over there for your ass. They're going to send the cavalry over there. They're going to send a hook and ladder truck over there. You're going to be like, man, all this for me? And they're going to clog up your goddamn street with all them fucking police cars and shit. Then they're going to come in, check your whole house. Then they go in there and they be like, you got any guns in the house, sir? They're going to take all your guns. And you can't get your guns back until you go see your mental health person and you get documentation. And the police department will release your guns after a pretty good period of time. You might have to wait 90 days or longer without your guns. That might not be an option for some people. I totally respect that. Some people they feel they gotta have their guns in the house to protect their family. Okay? But they don't tell people, they don't tell these vets that they're gonna come over there and take all your guns. I'm like, man, that to me, I think the police department can have a whole lot of other things to do besides knocking down somebody's door and taking their guns. They be doing that shit up here. State of Washington be pulling a lot of shit, man. They be doing a lot of shit. Coming over there, taking people guns. You ain't taking my shit. Unless the only time you're gonna come out of here with something of mine is after you give me all the money I paid for that shit. Then you can have the original receipt and everything. But you ain't finna get, you ain't finna get my goddamn guns just because. Better get out of here. I ain't mentally ill. I got some issues I'm dealing with, but I ain't mentally ill. There's a difference. But they always, they're gonna sit up and sell you some guns, and turn around and tell the police to come over there and pick them up. I don't think that's. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? I could see if I was out here shooting at people on a daily basis, or I'm threatening people. I don't go around threatening people. My attitude is, if you fuck with me, I'm just gonna tell you what's gonna transpire next. I ain't the nigga to sit around, making pipe bombs and shit to fuck somebody, and I got a pack of lunch to go fuck somebody up. No, I'm gonna take care of your ass right there. If you come at me like that, ain't gonna be no I gotta go home and get my shit type scenario. If it's that serious, I'm gonna handle it right there, because you deserve to have it handled right there. Fuck all the dumb shit. But like I said, some of these guys be, they be sitting in front of the camera like this, looking crazy. The first part of the video is just this nigga sitting there like this. Then finally start talking. Well, what happened this week with Tariq? He just, give me like, well, Tariq, fucks alligator in the ass and lives to tell about it. And then you click on the video and it's just some dusty nigga sitting in front of the camera like this for about 10 minutes. Then the nigga start talking. Well, this week, Tariq said that he said some funny shit, man, and but he's an animal. He's an animal. I'm like, fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm like, dude, he fuck you in the ass? Damn. Ain't no man supposed to sound like no jilted lover over no another man. You know what I'm saying? That shit is suspect to me. That goes beyond somebody being moist. But the power of positive thinking is you knowing all along through all these trials and tribulations that you can make it. By the way, I forgot. Today is $5 Tuesday. We're going to do the $5 thing. Everybody, hey, let's buck up. Go to AskTheIceman.com, fellas. Scroll down and donate. Like I said again, this is damn, where my paper at for this damn sucker? It's $5 Wednesday. $5 foot long, goddammit. Hopefully, Jared, they used to do the Subway commercials. Hopefully, he's getting a nice, good foot long right now. Hope he's getting a nice foot long from one of them big dick brothers. Filling that little tiny little white boy booty hole real good. And may God bless you real good. That's what this nigga used to say in Minneapolis on this radio station. May God bless you real good. Motherfucker crack me up with that shit. Okay? Yeah, that dude, Jared. See, that was the typical, he was a nigga nerd, so a lot of people cut him some slack. They saw he ain't out there doing what they say he doing. This dude been paying these kids for sex You know, he up here fucking 10-year-old girls, man. God damn, dude. You know, some guys get off on that little girl shit, man. A lot of these Caucasian dudes, man, they get down like that. That's why they be going to Thailand and all these other little places so they can, you know, fuck little kids in the ass, man. That's what these guys do, man. Especially people with money. You go to a place like Macau and Singapore and shit, man, they be doing all kind of shit over there. Come up with $500,000 and put a 4-year-old kid in the bed. It's some white males, they in them little clubs like that. That's why you always see motherfuckers getting busted for child porn, man, because they done pissed the wrong motherfucker off. They ain't the first time they've been, you know, peddling, you know, kiddie porn. But some guys, they got to get they sexual deviants, man. They don't, you know, they don't know how to do normal dating with you know, normal breathing, talking women. You know, they like little boys, or they like little girls, or they like animals. None of us get down like that, but like I said, they get down like that. They do that still. Yeah, you go cross over to Tijuana and they you know, showing a donkey fucking a woman and, you know, that type of shit. I've never wanted to go in none of them places. You know, there's some stuff I want to see, but most stuff I don't want to see. I don't care to see a polar bear ride a tricycle. I don't care to see a donkey fuck a woman. Are you that broke that you got to do spectacle stuff like that? That's lower than the circus. And I got problems with the circus. You know I got problems with the circus. I'm glad they start shutting them down, because I think it's inhumane to have them animals doing that shit just for white people's amusement. I never liked circus, the circus. I've never liked it. Never. I thought it was stupid. I want to run away and join the circus and be on the flying trapeze like those Mexicans at Circus Circus. Woo! Que no! Por mi tío! Oh, I fell again. Juan, why? Porque no? Shit. ¿Dónde está Julio Iglesias? Fuck out of here, man. Shit. Porque no? But you know, people have that thinking, I can't get out of this situation I'm in. That's why with my life coaching clients that really get on board what I'm doing with them, because I tailor make every strategic plan catered to, you know, tailored to their needs only. I could have two guys with the same mental disorders, and they still need different approaches. They need different theoretical approaches. And the reason why I try to work with you guys is because you guys are my people. I want to work with my people, man. I don't care to work with anybody else. And yeah, a lot of black folks don't think they have to pay me or whatever the case may be. That's fine. I try to educate them as best I can. If they don't want to pay, I can't make them pay. You know, I'm not going to do anything until they, you know, pay that money. So I don't get caught out there like that. You know, that's just something I never done. But I have had people listen to me for years and finally like, look, man, I need to hire you to do some life coaching for me, man. I'm not making any progress, Ice, man. You'd be surprised how many cats need help, man. They ain't necessarily got a mental disorder. They just need help. They just need some, they just, you know, maybe they, like I said, some guys, their environment that they grew up in ain't conducive for somebody that's trying to make things happen. You know, some guys ain't self-motivated. Some guys are not self-motivated. So it's hard for them to listen to fucking videos and them try to make self-correct. Some people don't self-correct very well. They need help. They need structure. So while you may react a certain way to stimuli, they may not react to it the same way unless I'm, you know, like spoon feeding them and leading them by the nose. Some people need that. That's not necessarily means they're a bad client. It just means they're different. And it just means I'm gonna have to work harder to get them on track. Some people, they immediately they change their outlook on life and they just start thinking a whole lot more differently and they become successful. Because a lot of people, they can't just make their mind up to do something and then turn around and do it like maybe half the population. Some people are just not like that. They need structure like a child. They need that incubation, that incubator to be warm and feel loved, and they need that. Some people don't need it at all. But you have to be smart enough and well trained enough to pick up on that. Some people don't, some mental health people don't pick up on that kind of stuff. But your thinking is your cognitive processing, how you process stimuli in your social environment is, you know, for some people it's good. For everybody, it's totally different. Even people in the same family, they can see the same thing and come up with totally different conclusions. That's a known fact. So you have to understand, some people are not going to get it, and I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to accept it that some people don't get it. I'm willing to accept that a lot of people ain't gonna try to get it. That's fine too. The people who get the most out of this are the people who gonna put the most in. It's just like with a relationship, business or personal. You get out of it what you put into it. You can't come into a situation with a man and expect him to take care of you, but then you causing trouble all the time. And you acting like a dumbass and raising hell and it disrupting his life because you don't give a shit. And then when the guy gives up on you and don't want to deal with you no more, then you want to go run out here and go get with somebody else. You'd be surprised how many women do that based on lies. They go out there, you know, some guy said he gonna do such this, that, and the other, and then they run over there and get with that dude, and things ain't as rosy as they thought it was gonna be. Men should take care of a woman, but you don't take care of no woman long term who's a piece of shit, who don't want to listen to you, who wants to do her own thing, wants to undermine your ass. That, you know, that type of dating, which a lot of y'all volunteer for a lot of these bad relationships and bad dealings with women, you go and get in those situations and, you know, it ain't worth, the pussy ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Man, you can't stand this bitch, but you don't want to get rid of her because she's the only bitch that you got in your stable. That's why I tell guys to go out here and try to date multiple women, because, you know, dealing with these women ain't supposed to be as hard as these women make it out to be. A lot of these women make themselves difficult because they can get away with it. But when niggas start getting hip to that shit and say, hey, fuck you, bitch, Then now they want to run around talking about men ain't shit or black men ain't shit. Where's all the good men at? They start crying that shit. Where's all the good men at? I can't find anybody who's honest and forthright. These black men just don't want to treat me right. Shut up, you whiny fat bitch. Fuck out of here, man. If you wasn't fucking with the garbage, man, maybe things would be a little bit more positive for your ass. But that's what happens with niggas that's the garbage man. Sometimes the garbage man don't want to smell the stench of that garbage. And he ain't gonna act right. But positive thinking is paramount to you reaching your goals. If you got goals in life, which some people just don't have, your goals are going to depend on your outlook. If your outlook is shitty, then you ain't gonna be able to meet any of your goals, because it takes that intestinal fortitude that gets you through those rough times. It gets you through those rough times. And a lot of people ain't able to survive, because if everything don't work out perfectly the way they want it, they assume that they're a total failure, and that's not true. Maybe you need to just go 2 or 3 more inches, and that's it. Maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe you just need to make it 2 or 3 inches, and you're going to get to your destination and your goal. But you got some people that just give up. They just give up. They can't take it. They can't take the daily grind of struggling. You see where I'm going with this? It's going down. And it's going down the way you allow it to go down. And some people, they don't know how. Some people get off track and they don't know how to get back on track. That's a problem too with a lot of brothers and sisters. We get off track. We don't know how to get back on track. Especially the older we get, the less that, we can pull that off. Like I said, again, some people just can't pull it off, man. They just can't. And they just give up. And they say, well, I'm just going to be the nigga that gets in trouble. I'm just going to be the nigga that hates on other niggas. That's where you get these guys that come by people's channels talking shit. Trolling other people's channel. I'm like, what's the point in doing that? That's something that a grown man would not do. That's something I would see a woman doing. But as soon as you get it right, it's the best feeling in the world. See, I've been fortunate enough to be good at self-correction. I wasn't always good at it, but I learned because I had to count on myself. I couldn't count on anybody else. So I ended up having that mentality that I had to make shit work on my own. If it didn't work, I did a lot of planning sometime. That shit didn't pop off. I ain't been disappointed in life very much. But I have had some disappointments because I make decisions based on facts. I don't make decisions based on how my emotions are, because emotions fuck emotions. Grown men don't make emotional decisions. Grown men make logical decisions. And if you're not making logical decisions, that's because you're emotional. And you got to turn that off because you ain't thinking clearly. And that's what my problem was. I was emotional as hell from serving in a war. And I didn't know how to turn that off. And again, I mean, I finally got the help that I needed. And it drastically changed my life overnight. A lot of people, they say, you know, what I mean, without divulging all of my business, I have told people over the years that, you know, I was a wreck for a long time, and I knew it was coming. I knew I was going to crash and burn because I wasn't getting the proper help and treatment that I deserved. That's why I tell vets, don't sit up here and suffer in silence. You know, email me and we'll go from there. We'll try to work something out. Some guys have contacted me to help them get into the VA process. You know, trying to get in the VA so they can get treatment. And I'm like, some of these guys are, you know, they don't know how to deal with the VA. The VA is just such a big task for them to do that. And I've helped some guys out, man. That's what I do. As long as you don't come at me crazy. So the one thing that we have to understand is you can totally screw yourself being a pessimist and being a negative person. You can screw yourself and not even know it. It's just subliminal that you think negatively that way. Some people, that's just, you know, that's just how they think. That's just how they think, man. But you have to turn things around. Oh, you know, you got to turn things around, man. You got to turn things around in your favor. And that's not easy. And you got to take those incremental steps to get that popping off.
Three, 4 flights of stairs. I'd never heard that story before.
What's popping, everybody? Yo. We still got people in the room or what? But positive thinking is a way for you to start putting one foot in front of the other. Not everybody gets it. And I understand that. Not everybody gets it. That's why you need to start. That's why I tell people to start listening to these live streams, because maybe if you see my face, you'll understand what I'm talking about a little bit better. Because sometimes people don't, you know, they don't learn like that. They need to see somebody's mouth moving. And that's fine. Hey, what up, Wacky World of TV? Be the great breed. What's popping? And so positive thinking is something that we haven't been akin to as Black men, because we get shit on a daily basis We get people that treat us so nasty based on who we are as black men that we get used to it. You start believing that it's okay to not have shit. Yeah, a lot of white people out here don't want black people to have anything, but fuck them. Who gives a shit what other people think? And I'm not saying this to be nasty toward Caucasian people. I'm saying this because I know that there are a lot of Caucasian people who think like that. They see me rolling in something and their attitudes is, that nigga don't deserve that. Fuck him. But again, I don't care about them guys. I don't care. I don't give a shit about them. I don't give a shit about them. ESPN app. Yeah, I don't give a shit what these people think. They want to come at me with that dumb shit. They can come at me with that dumb shit. I know how to handle it. I know how to handle it. I know how to handle you. But we as black people, if you hear me, like you hear me talk about a lot of complicated stuff, and a lot of people don't really get it. They don't get it. They're like, man, I'm trying to wrap my head around what you're saying, but man, it ain't that simple. And I'm like, well, you know, why is it not that simple? You got to put one foot in front of the other, man. You can't just start out, you know, you got to crawl before you walk, man. You want to start sprinting. And that's why a lot of guys end up on their ass, because they out here trying to sprint when they ought to be crawling. I know, because I've been there. And, you know, cats want to sit up here and make it a bitch fest. That's not helpful either. Talk about what's on your mind, and then we need to move on. I'm not going to sit here all day and listen to somebody bitch about women all day, because my attitude is going to be to you, well, what are you doing about it? Are you just going to sit here and bitch about it? Or are you going to do something about it and fix what you can fix? And the rest of it, just say, fuck it. Fix what you can fix. But you got guys, they'll say some dumb shit like this. Well, I want to be taller. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. It's obvious you ain't going to get no taller, you stupid motherfucker. I'm talking about something you can change, like your attitude or your draws. That's what I'm talking about. Changing some shit. Not sitting up here blaming everything on women. Because you can't be a boring motherfucker and then get mad because women ain't interested in you. You got to start making some changes, nigga. And I'm talking about making changes that, you know, are going to normalize your ass instead of have you looking like a freak. Because some dudes do stuff because they're real awkward. And you have to understand that some things you might do may freak people out. I've had guys contact me and say, hey, Ice, I'm one of them dudes that did prison time. And I'm like, okay, what's up? Say, man, you know, I can't get, I've had such a hard time since I got out of prison that I just be wanting to give up. And I'm like, dude, you can't give up, man. You can't give up, brother. You got kids? Yeah, I got a kid. But, he don't want to have nothing to do with me because I've been away so long. I'm like, hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, man. Leave the door open for him, but you got to move on, man. You got to live your life, man. You in your 30s, nigga. You got a whole lot of living to do. Straighten your life up, get healthy, and get out here and get this money. But again, if all somebody knows is negative shit, it's hard to try to convince them to get out of that thinking, man. Especially when you got something, they got something holding over your head like a criminal record. Some of these apartment complexes won't rent to you. You know, some women might drop you when they find out you got a record. There's a lot of intangibles. There's a lot of what do you call it? You know, variables that you can't control when you know, put yourself in a situation like that, unfortunately. But I try to tell guys to keep the faith, man. Keep the faith. Hang in there. Keep the faith, man. Hang in there. Don't give up. But you got to be real about it. You can't be no fake nigga. Some niggas just want to, you know, sit up here and barely do some shit and then be expecting, you know, hell of the results. That ain't how life works, man. It's what you put into it. And if you sitting up here bullshitting and you ain't putting nothing into it, then it's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna continue to be fucked up. And that's what I'm trying to impress upon you guys, what you need to do and how you can bust this thing wide open and get your cash. Because there's other people out there that got criminal records and they out here doing good. It just depends on what you want to do, man. Judge Mathis had a criminal record. He had to wait 3 years before he could practice law. That's a long time to wait for something to, you know, be done on your record because he had felonies. Don't give up, man. Don't let these bitches beat you down. A lot of cats be up here letting these women beat them down. These women ain't earned the right to beat me down. You know, my ex-wife don't have the right to beat me down unless I let her. So you have to understand that all of this is in your power if you're willing to do something about it. But if you want to sit there and whine and complain and all of that shit, that's why I say buy, you know, some of these books by people like Warren Buffett or some of these cats. A lot of people think, you know, Warren Buffett is just some little old he's just some old little nice little grandpa type. Warren Buffett's a beast. You don't become a multi-billionaire like that and be a nice guy. You got to be willing to crush people. So don't let that little old grandpa, you know, persona fool you. That dude is a beast. I'm just not a cutthroat person. I could be a millionaire. I could be a millionaire, but I'm not a cutthroat person. I ain't one of them dudes that go and fuck all my employees over. I just was never that dude. The only employees that I fucked over was employees that fucked themselves. If you coming in late every day, I mean that, you know, your time card is computerized. So when you put your employee number in there, everybody from the CEO down can see that shit. So if you late every day and your supervisor who reports to a supervisor who reports to me, they gonna fire you. I ain't gonna fire you. You fired yourself. But then you got, you know, guys at the job that want to chase bitches at the job, want to chase the white girl at the job, want to go to, you know, you over there and shipping and receiving with some big booty white girl that work in there, and you know damn good well you ain't got no reason to be back there. You know, and then the white dudes the white guys start looking. They start paying attention because they already watching your ass anyway. Yeah. I always keep my SS card in a safe place, but I don't keep it in view. I don't carry it on me because I've lost wallets before and it was in there and somebody got my social security number and did all kind of shit to my credit. Yeah, that's some shit I'm still paying off too. I lost my wallet. I ain't had no driver's license for like a couple of months till people sent my driver's license to me, and it was a mess. But if you know you got to go to orientation for a job and they haven't done all your I-9 form and taking a picture of your ID and all that stuff, know this from going forward, Monstar 86. Know this: the next time you take a job and you got a new employee orientation, and you know you're supposed to bring your IDs because they usually will tell you. Make sure you just have your shit together the night before. That's what I do. I make sure I have my stuff together the night before. I'll go get my social security number, and I mean card, and I'll put it in my wallet, and then I'll have it with me. And then after I use it, I put it back in a safe place. But I don't carry mine on me. What's L Miller? Is that like a what's L Miller? Is that a factory location? But yeah, man, it's hard for a black man to, you know, oh okay. Oh, it's a chain. Oh, okay. But a lot of cats, man, they just, you know, I use jobs for making my money, but I also use it to meet people, get to know people. You know, you meet friends that way. You know, sometimes you make some lifelong friends, man. You know what steakhouse I miss is Sizzler. You know, Sizzler used to, you know, it's funny how Sizzler used to be a 3-star, 4-star, not 4-star, but maybe a 3-star steakhouse back in the day. Sizzler back in the 70s, that was like the shit. That was like going to Lone Star Steakhouse or somewhere like that. Or I would say maybe Outback. They used to have some good, they still got the same. That's what's so funny about the Sizzler. Man, they still got the same platters, man. They still got the same fucking food, man. I'm like, God damn. They'd have had the same food for like 40-some years, man, 50 years. God damn. Steak and shrimp. They still got the same, those metal plates. That's what Chili's and all them got there for them fajitas and shit. You know, you go to Chili's and get them fajitas or the chicken fajitas, and they come out with that hot ass fucking cast iron plate. Shit, Sizzler were the first ones I seen that shit with. Right, exactly. Sizzler is mainly on the West Coast. It's like you know, probably as far west, far east it's gonna be. It's probably Phoenix. You ain't gonna see none after Phoenix. But Sizzler was nationwide, but you know, they cut back because you know a lot of their stores didn't do well in other parts of the country. They fucked up. They had the market share. Sizzlers had the market, dog. They had the market. But they, you know, a lot of these, you know, back then, a lot of restaurant executives didn't know what they were doing, man. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Yeah. Magic Mountain. God damn. Man, you go to Magic Mountain today, ain't but a bunch of Mexicans up there. That's one of the reasons I stopped wanting to go up there. Too many fucking cholos and shit. I ain't want to be around that shit. All them Crips and Bloods up there and shit. I'm like, damn, nigga. We trying to have a good time. But I'm not going to sit up here and say it's all in your mind, because that's kind of the wrong approach. It ain't just all in your mind, it's your reality. Even if it's skewed in some way, your reality is your reality. Your perception is your 100% reality. And that's why a good clinician is going to determine whether or not you have some type of mental illness that's causing this, or just how you process stimuli in your social environment. You did? He said, full force, I'll be on the run. Full force, get busy one time. Long as my name is Lou, I'm gonna love you. You remember that shit? Them niggas was funny to me, man. I saw them niggas in concert. They were good and terrible. Them niggas was horrible. And I like Full Force, man. I like them niggas. I think they were decent actors. And they're good guys. One of them got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Hey, man, Sancho and them ain't, they, you know what, let me tell you something, man. A lot of these restaurants be taking advantage of these immigrants. Think about it. Think about when you saw Scarface. And remember when Scarface and Manny were washing dishes for that fat dude? Remember that in Scarface? When Al Pacino, they was washing dishes in that Cuban restaurant. And Al Pacino was trying to tell Stephen Bauer, he was trying to tell him, you know, that they needed to make a move and they needed to be aggressive. But Manny was like, nah, man, we don't want to push this. You know, let's lay back in the cut and milk this opportunity And Al Pacino's character, Scarface, wanted to be aggressive and move up real quickly. And what they showed you, they kind of showed you a dichotomy. On one hand, if they used both approaches equally, they would have been that, you notice they were successful. They, Manny was the logical one, and he was the sensible one, but he was a pussy hound. That was his downfall. And Al Pacino had the brains and the balls, but he didn't necessarily consistently had the business acumen. You see what I'm saying? So both of them together made a hell of a team. Y'all see where I'm going with this? In a lot of ways, that's the way life is. Some people, they don't have that yin and yang. Scarface needed Manny, and Manny needed Scarface, because Manny wasn't real aggressive and as ambitious as Scarface was. Sometimes you do have to have enough sense to lay back in the cut and say, man, wait, I need to wait my time. Sometimes you got to you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues, man. Some people don't want to pay their dues because they're impatient and they're narcissists. Some guys are just narcissists like that. They're like, I want my $1 million and I want it now. Fuck J.G. Wentworth. It's my goddamn money. But some people are like that, man. They need that sensible guy over here saying, hey man, you need to, Iceman, you need to pump your brakes on this one, man. And if nothing else, you just have to have enough sense to look and say, yeah, I think I better pump my brakes on this. See, with me, since I stopped being emotional, I make logical decisions. Some people say, well, why would you move all the way up there in the Northwest where, you ain't never lived before, whatever, for new experiences, man. I can do it. New experiences, new people. And yeah, a lot of these people ain't shit because this is the West Coast. A lot of these people, it's a lot of fucking hustlers out. It's a lot of janky motherfuckers out here. See, I ain't been on the West Coast in years. I've been in the South for a long time where people kind of slow on the uptake. And they ain't as slick as motherfuckers out West. But Phoenix is a different city. But LA is a different city. San Diego's different. Bay Area is different. I'm going to start hanging out in the Bay Area, man. I'm going to start going down there. Right now, I just ain't really fucking around like that. Because I got a lot of work to do. I got to get this book done. I want to finish this CD. Now I got to, continue to keep fundraising and to meet these goals and stuff like that too. So there's a lot of stuff I got popping and a lot of stuff I got out here on the street. I got some work out here on these streets that I got to see through. I got to see some of this stuff through. Y'all hold on for a second. are made of wood. Some people have hearts of stone. Some people are up to no good. But maybe I'm for real. What y'all know about them dramatics? Shit, I got 2 of their greatest hit CDs. Shit. That's that Detroit. Yeah, whatever, nigga. Some people are up to no good. Y'all, hey, where my OGs at? Where Ansel 1961 at? I know he know about them dramatics. What you see? What you see? Shit, nigga. Shit, I love the dramatic. I grew up on the dramatics, man. Choosing Up on You, all that shit. All the old players used to play that shit, man. That was like hip hop when I was growing up. Shit, Grand Admiral Games. That's a lot. You kicking, hey, you kicking some flow right here, brother. Oh yeah, Nate Dogg. Oh yeah. Yeah, R.I.P. to Nate Dogg, man. That's my nigga right there. I can't be faded. I'm just a nigga from the motherfucking streets. I'm just a nigga from the motherfucking streets. Oh, that shit was dope. Ghetto gospel. Shit. My nigga Nate Dogg. God damn. Shit, but I tell you what, man. And see too, man, I don't hang around a lot of old niggas my age. You know what I'm saying? That like to kick that game. A lot of these old niggas my age, man, they be on some 25-year-old shit talking about chasing bitches. I'm like, nigga, fuck you talking about chasing bitches. Nigga, you supposed to be done with that shit. You get our age. The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? You supposed to be laying a trap for these hoes. Not being the trap. Not being trapped. Or putting yourself in a position where you in the trick bag, because niggas love to put themselves in the trick bag, boy. Woo! See, you young niggas don't know about getting caught up in the trick bag. Oh, the trick bag ain't no place for a black man, because I tell you it. Oh yeah, with my motherfucking strap on me, yeah, that's my shit too. Hell yeah. I got some 213 in here, man. Remember Snoop Dogg, Warren G, and Nate Dogg did that 213 album the hard way. Man, that's some gangster shit on that fucking album, boy. God damn. Yeah, Spice One was good. Yeah, Spice One was tight. Spice One was like one of the first popular Bay Area rappers other than Hammer that really started getting a lot of juice down there in Southern California. 213, the gangster shit. Yeah, that's the shit right there. I got that CD in here somewhere. I pull that shit out when I want to hear some gangster shit and I want to puff on some L's. Okay. And when that was in my rolling blunt days. Sibo, nah, man, I don't remember him. I remember Rapping Fote, because he used to come down to LA a lot. Rapping Fote used to come down to LA. Spice One used to be in LA all the time. Too Short was in LA all the time. He was at World on Wheels and shit. Too Short was in LA all the time. There was a lot of love and cooperation back then, man. Hammer used to be in LA all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of love out there for cats, man. You know, back then cats checked in, man. Cats didn't just roll up in somebody's hood. Usually most Bay Area cats had family down here, down in LA. When I say down here, I mean down in Southern California. So those guys are always welcome because they have family down there. So, and then the same thing with LA brothers. We go up to, I knew drug dealers that was up there in Oaktown. Cats would come down to LA. Hey man, let's go to Carlos and Charlie's. Okay, let's ride. And we, it's 10 or 15 cars, nigga. We going up to Hollywood to Carlos and Charlie's where Prince used to hang out at. We all the fine sisters in LA used to roll up in there. That was the shit back then, dog. I knew a lot of people back then. I knew a lot of cats back then. So Bay Area cats would holler at niggas down here in LA and be like, hey man, I'm coming down, man. Me and my boys coming down. We good. Like, yeah, let's go to the club. We go to Bit and Apple on Wilshire. Man, we used to, nigga, back in the 80s. Oh shit. I was that nigga back then, dude. I just wanted to have a family, man. I wanted to do something different. So I went to the military. But man, I had it popping back then, yo. The streets was hot for a nigga. Okay? The streets was treating a nigga all right. Shit, I had bitches all the time. Shit, I didn't have to work for shit back then. But I'm gonna tell y'all, man, cats get out the joint, man. Cats fall off. Let me explain something to you. Just because bad stuff happens to you every now and then doesn't mean that you are a total failure. I think a lot of brothers get on that stinking thinking. They start saying, well, man, I had this happen to me. So, fuck it. I just give up. No, don't give up, brother. Even if you don't have no children, don't give up, man. Don't give up, brother. God got a plan for you. You just got to stay on the path, brother. That's all you got to do. Stay on the path. Don't fuck it up by going back to prison. Because now they got it where, if you 7 years after you've been convicted and you've been off parole or been released from prison, you don't have to put that shit on your record. Some state, California, I know does that. If it's 7 years past, you don't have to put that on your application. And it may not come up unless they really looking for it. You might get a reprieve sometime, but a nationwide company, they're gonna find it. Oh, they're gonna find it. They're a big regional company or a nationwide company, they're gonna find that felony. Or they're gonna find it. So the best thing to do, if it's 7 years and it's a non-violent offense, try to get an expungement. Hire you an attorney and get an expungement. Because once you expunge it, then it's like your record is clean. There's only certain people who can get past that expungement. Very few can do it. Everybody can't do it. A regular police department can't do it. The courts can't do it. The only people who can usually get into there is maybe DEA and the FBI and the Department of Justice, but just your regular police department, hell no. Maybe state police, yeah, but not nobody else. Not no regular police, the county sheriff or the police department, municipal police department. Oh no, man. Oh yeah, Deep Cover, MC8. Yeah, Deep Cover, Snoop and Dre. I'm still trying to find that fucking 12-inch. I'm still trying to find a 12-inch to that motherfucker, man. Because I collect vinyl. Right, because they know that people, there's a lot of cats out there with, I know some cats that got inspired. Have any of you guys read that book, Cooked? Have y'all read that book? It's by that brother. He was a big time dope dealer in San Diego County, and he ended up going to federal prison and changed his life. Now he's a big time chef in Vegas. You ought to get his book, man. His book, I read his book. I got two. I got the hard copy and the paperback copy. It's a good book, man. Real good book. A lot of the guys that when I used to manage, when I used to work for the Cardinals, a lot of guys that used to work for me were ex-cons that worked in that kitchen with me. And a lot of those guys had his book, man. It was like, man, maybe that could happen. I said, it can happen for you. Just stick with it. You're gonna want to, if you want to be a chef, you got to stick with it. Because after a while, you can build your own team. A lot of cats need gigs, man. A lot of jobs out there that go unfilled. That's why I be telling y'all, man, if you just looking for jobs through the paper, the classifieds, you ain't gonna find no job, man. If you want a job, you got to get out there and work. You got to get some contacts, man. Have people to talk to. Get on the phone and, if you fill out somebody's application online, give them a few days and, try to see if they got your app, man. But like I said, you still shouldn't be looking to work no damn job as a long-term way of bringing in money. Put yourself on a 3 to 5 year leash. I put myself on a leash, man. I'll be like, I don't want to stay here. Whenever I've worked the last couple of jobs I had, I put myself on a leash. I said, you know what? I'm not working here forever because I know I ain't gonna be here forever anyway. Because I'm too opinionated. I'm too smart for that hustle. I'm too smart to sit there and work for somebody for 30 years, if that was possible. I'm too smart for that. So that I would never get caught up in that anyway. But when I was working for the man, I always had that mentality. Yeah, Jeff Henderson, right? Jeff Henderson, Cooked. Get that book, man. It's a really good book. Really good book, man. It speaks to cats that have had, had some rough times. Yeah, barber school ain't bad. I would suggest going to cosmetology school if you are a heterosexual man, because most of the men who are really good hairstylists are actually heterosexual men, not these gay dudes, not these homosexual dudes. And you get mad pussy because these bitches after a while gonna be like, come to my house and do my hair. And you like, oh shit. Shaba. Oh, loba. Okay, next thing you know, you doing that shit, rubbing coconut oil all over yourself. Shaba. Loba. Next thing you know, you tearing up some pussy. Maxi Breeston Shaba. Okay. Well, yeah, you got more homosexuals in the business, but I'm gonna tell you right now, barber school is cool, but you mainly only cut black people's hair though. You know what I'm saying? You learn how to cut everybody's hair, but a barber ain't the same as a hairstyle. Hairstylists do everything. They do nails, they do esthetician work, and they do hair. So they learn how to do 3 things. They mainly want to do the hair though. But cosmetologists, my dad used to be a cosmetologist. He wasn't a good one, but my dad used to have a beauty shop back in the day. I talked about this, but my dad wasn't no good at it. Wasted all that money and time going to school, and he wasn't no good at it. You got to have that touch. He ain't had that touch, but he wasn't smart enough to look at, instead of his dumb ass, instead of his ass, trying to do something he could do, which was like do accounting and finance and stuff like that. He has a knack for that kind of stuff. Instead of doing that kind of stuff, he trying to do some shit that he ain't even good at. And it wasn't long before he had to shut down that shop because he just didn't know what he was doing. Man weaves? Are you serious? I never heard of that. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get you young cats on board, and try to, get you guys on track if you ain't on track. And like I said, I've had guys that come to me, man. They on their last leg before they ready to kill themselves. And I'm like, no, bro, give me a chance, man. Give me a chance to help you. Don't fucking take your life, man. Some guys just feel hopeless, man. And that's one thing I want to how are you finding jobs on Craigslist, Monstar 86? Because a lot of these ads that be on Craigslist, people be lying. It's a lot of scammers on Craigslist, man. I ain't seen nothing positive on. I remember I used to look for rooms to rent or rooms to offer rooms to rent on there. And I mean, man, there was some people on there that was just so shady. Just some shady people out there, man. Oh, okay. But you heard they shut down Backpage, right? And I know some of you niggas are sad, but yeah, they shut down Backpage. I know that. I know once. I know y'all. Some of you niggas lost your main source of pussy. Okay, getting all that heroin, that old nasty beat down heroin pussy. No black men. I said, well, I bet your ad read no men at all now, bitch. Broke ass hoes. I can't believe they let that shit go on that long. I can't believe they let that shit go. If that was some niggas, let me tell you something. If that was some niggas running Backpage.com, they would have shut that shit down the next day. Okay? They wouldn't let 24 hours go by before they shut that shit down. They need to stop. They need to quit bullshitting. How long has Backpage been active? What, 6-7 years? The fuck they trying to try to pat themselves on the back? Everybody knew that was the place to go to buy pussy online or to set up dates online. Everybody knew that. Exactly, human paradox. Exactly. Only the white man can profit from pain. Exactly. I remember Chris Rock saying that shit. Hell yeah. He was telling the truth on that one. Never Scared. That was a good one. That was one of his best shows. That one he got on Netflix, Tamarine, that motherfucker funny as hell too. Exactly. BH Theory 1. Nothing substitute for the art of conversation. If you can't spit, man, you're gonna have some problems out here in America. You're gonna have some problems, dog. Because sometimes I watch, and I'm not trying to get on Caucasian dudes, but I watch Caucasian dudes, especially up in corporate America, and a lot of them are super duper bullshitters. Some of them they don't even know what the fuck they doing. They just bullshit all day. But a white woman, a white man can do that at the job, not know how to do their job. They just got people doing it for them. It's a lot of people out here like that, but they can get away with that. Oh, they did? What did they change it to? Are they doing the same thing? Because if they doing the same thing, they'll shut that down. But I could give a fuck about Backpage anyway, because I didn't like the fact that you had bitches on there talk about no black men. That's why you got to have your own shit when it come to, fucking, since when do a prostitute feel she can turn down fucking business? Okay. Okay. Because I remember one time I was staying at a Fairfield Inn in San Antonio, and some real fine sister came in there, and she went to a first level room, and exactly an hour later, she came out of that room. I said, oh, that bitch is a fucking escort. That bitch is a prostitute. I was like, that bitch is a prostitute. But you never would have picked that up. If you really wasn't looking hard, you never would have picked it up. She definitely had the air that she did that for a living. But some, people's attitude about prostitution is they still think of that 1970s model where the bitch stood out there on the street with pimples on her booty trying to sell ass. The only women who are out there on the track like that are drug addict hoes. Ain't nobody on the street no more. It's too damn hot out there. It's too damn cold. There's too many places around America where it's too fucking cold or too hot. Nobody want to be standing out there like that. Fuck out of here. That's why the pimp game has really changed now. That, have y'all heard of about this shit these hoes be doing in Las Vegas? Trick rolling. Did y'all know about that? Trick rolling. Well, they got this thing called trick rolling. And what they do is these bitches, they would seek out the most basic fucking simp they can find or trick they can find and pick up on his energy. And then when he goes to the bar, the bitch will slide over there next to him and ask him if he want to go up to the room with it. Can she go up to the room with him? He thinking, this stupid motherfucker's thinking this bitch actually want to get with him instead of thinking, hey, this bitch set me up. So the bitch will go up there to his room, probably some Asian dude, ain't never had no pussy, and go up to his room and take his fucking wallet and then run out the door, doing that kind of shit. That's why whenever I've had those bitches eyeballing me, I give them that look like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me, don't play me like a fucking sucker, bitch. Don't you bring your ass over here. They actually got hip to that shit and start throwing them hoes out them hotel bars like that. Because what they do is they come in, they look around. You can tell they looking around. They walk around the casino, and then if you over there playing the tables and putting a lot of paper out there on them tables, they'll come over there and be like, hey, and then be like on them fucking movies on be in Vegas, like Kiss the Dice and all this shit. I'll be like, bitch, get the fuck out my face. I ain't stupid. I know your ass ain't no good. You're a piece of shit. So some of them hotels have banned them bitches. It's almost like you see them, you go to some of these truck stops and you see them some signs of, it'll have a lizard and then it'll have a line through it. If you don't know what that means, if you ain't a truck driver or if you ain't somebody to be out there on these highways like I used to be, you don't know what that means. But see, every time I see that sign, I know what it means. That shit had me laughing. Okay? No lot lizards. Them bitches, they real slick with their shit though. Them bitches are real slick. Cause they'll go around in them trucks and they'll wait till it get dark and they'll be knocking on their door. Hey, you want some company? Shit, bitch, you might fuck around, end up in your head end up being a fucking lampshade, somebody fucked up ass trailer. Shit. Shit, ain't no money in fucking truckers. By the way, where my truckers at, man? Where my nigga? Where truck driver, man? Shit, you all over the country. If you a single guy, you ain't got no roots. Shit, man, behind that rig and see this country. Shit, some of them guys live pretty good. Some of them guys live pretty good, man. My uncle used to be a truck driver before he got sick. Shit, man, ain't nothing wrong being a truck driver. That's good money. I wish I could do it. I just can't back that trailer up. I could drive it forward. I could back it up and hook that trailer up to it, but backing that motherfucker into a dry dock and all that kind of shit, that shit, I couldn't do that shit, man. Not on command. What do truckers make? Shit. It depends on what you do. If you over the road and you just getting out of school, they probably make about 50. But it really depends on what their expenses are. See, they might say, okay, I need you to drive from Dallas to Kansas City. I need you to drive up to Kansas City and pick a load up. So if you're working for a nationwide company that's regional, because some guys say, I don't want to go all the way across the country. Because some guys, I knew guys that was based in LA that was driving all the way to Maine. They were driving all the way on the other. My uncle used to do that shit. He used to always drive from LA to Cleveland all the time. He was always in Ohio. He know all them highways around that eastern seaboard. He used to do over the road for a long time. But if you just doing regional pickups, like maybe 300-400 miles, you can make about 50 or 60. But again, if you based out of Dallas and you got to drive to Kansas City, that's about 400 miles. So they might say, okay, well, to pick this load up, to take it to KC, it's gonna cost you $3,500. No, let's a little more sensible. It's gonna cost you $1,800. So they'll put $1,800 on your company truck card that you use for all your expenses, and I think it might be separate for gas. Their fuel card is different, I think. But anyway, now with all the truck stops, they're all in the same network. So it's very electronic now. Used to be they did everything by, they had to do everything by paper. But now with computers, they can just everything. You got some guys that got laptops in their trucks and they can, print stuff out in their truck. So they might say it's going to cost you $1,800 to take this load from Dallas to KC. And so you'll say, okay, it's going to cost me $700 for gas to get up there and back. So you got to take that $700 out of there. Then what if you got to unload yourself? Then that might tack on extra money because you had to unload the truck yourself. And that took time out of your schedule. Because if you work for like somebody like JB Hunt, you go to KC, they might say, well, I need you to pick up a load after you drop this load off. I need you to pick this load up later on today and take that from KC to Oklahoma City. No, maybe not Oklahoma City, but maybe they might want you to go to Tulsa. They want you to go from Kansas City to Tulsa. And so you got to take that. If you take that load from Kansas City to Tulsa, then that's a whole nother load. They got to pay you separately for that. That's why you never do deadhead. You know what deadhead is? Deadhead is when you you go drop a load off, but then you go in that same town, you don't go pick up another load. See, if you in these nationwide companies, they probably already, if you want the work, they got it. Oh, they tell you. Because all the niggas I know that's truck drivers, they're like, shit. They're like, man, if you want to be on the road 24/7, they got work for your ass. Because you go to KC, drop that load off, pick another load up, say they like, hey, I need you to take this load to Denver. So you go all the way to Denver. And you got to factor in, are you going to just pull over in your sleeper and go to sleep? Because guys got, they got satellite dishes on there. You can put all that shit in there. Some of them are big enough you can put a queen size bed in there. But most of them just have a full size bed or a little, it's actually smaller than a full size bed. And they got, guys got their TVs in there now. I mean, the modern trucks now are way more advanced than them old ones. They way more comfortable because they know that guys might have their wives out there. So, and we're talking about using a company truck. We're not talking about using your own truck. If you're using your own truck, then your expenses are going to be a lot higher if you own or operate it. But if you just starting out, and you using their truck, then it's a little different. Some guys lease their truck directly from the company. So they take that out every month. That might not be a good thing if you don't want to be on the road all day, every day. But some guys like that. I like being away from home. I don't like sitting at home. But like I said, I just, all that backing up and all that shit. I couldn't get that down. But you might, if you want the work, you can, you can be gone all the time and make, in a week, you can make $7 to $8 grand. But again, what if your expenses are $3,000 that week? If your expenses are $3,200 and they gave you $6,500 to finish all them loads for the week, first of all, you tired, you've been out there on the road all week. And some guys, they don't get hotel because that $80 got to come out, or that $100 got to come out your expenses. So if you staying in hotels, like some guys got to stay in a hotel. Sometimes you just too fucking tired. And then you got them cops knocking on the fucking cab window. You got their ass trying to catch somebody slipping. They know a lot of guys might be trying to move some dope. Some guys might be riding dirty. So they checking guys' trucks. If you stop on the side of the road, dude, don't do that. Because if you like to drink, if you drink, you want to pull over and drink or smoke something, oh, them motherfuckers will be on your ass. If they see you on the side, you know how some of these truckers, they'll pull on the side. Now, if it's inclement weather and the cops is like, no, y'all need to get off the road, that's one thing. I ain't talking about that. Because like when you go up I-5, up here in Northern California, it's nothing but mountains. I didn't know that. I'd never been through there. And that was one of the worst fucking drives I've ever had coming up here. Oh man, it was horrible. If I wasn't a seriously experienced driver, man, I probably would have ran off the road up there. But man, it's just all this shit going up in these forests till you get up to like 6,000-7,000 feet. And then you pull into Oregon. Then you go down and then go into Oregon. And then in Oregon, you got to go up some hills, going through Medford and all that shit. Till you get up here to the middle part of the state where Eugene and Corvallis is. But hell yeah, man. Shit. They was telling them truck drivers to pull over. Y'all up in them forests and shit. Oh man, it's brutal up in there at night. And that wind was whipping through. That wind was just, it was cold as fuck up there. Shit, it was like 15, 20 degrees going through there. I said, oh hell no. Man, I had to stay dry. I had to keep driving. Because I wasn't gonna stop on the side of no goddamn road, not with all them goddamn trucks. But yeah, that's a real dangerous area, man. Going through Weed, California, all through up in there. What's that? Eureka. Well, actually, it's past Eureka. But yeah, man, woo, it's brutal. But if you them truck, I would, if it wasn't if I was a truck driver, and I know I smoke weed, or if I drank, I want to pull over and have me a drink, especially if I know I ain't going nowhere all night. Shit. My homeboy, he was telling me about a white dude that got a DUI like that. He said, man, he drank half a fifth of Jack. He had pulled over. He was tired. He said, man, he just took it straight to the head. Took that bottle of Jack straight to the head. Shit, next thing you know, state troopers knock on the fucking door. And he opened the door and that liquor on his breath just came out. Because he said he had passed out. He passed out in the back. And the cop was just fucking with people. He gave him a DUI, towed his truck. He lost his job. Oh, man. But a lot of times, them state troopers be trying to catch somebody slipping. Especially if you riding dirty or something, they'll pull you, they'll come and knock on the door just to see what you're gonna do. That's why, that's why if I was somebody that was a truck driver, I'd get out the truck and smoke weed. And then when I'm ready to go to sleep, then I get back in the truck and lock the door. At least I wasn't smoking weed while, in the truck. You know what I'm saying? So it's just some stuff you gotta, you just gotta be smart, man. Yeah, it's an unhealthy life if you sit like that for all those years. That's why a lot of truck drivers get going now. They getting smart, man. They working out. They'll go come back home and they'll work out. They'll get a nationwide membership, like somewhere like Planet Fitness or somewhere like that, and they'll just work out wherever they at. Some of the smart ones do that kind of stuff. Wherever they at, they just work out. But if you the truckers that make the money are the guys that are owner operators, and they've been doing that shit 30, 40 years, and they got their wives driving with them. That's the guys that are really making bank. That's why you notice if you see these older white dudes and they got their wives with them, and they, you can tell they are a serious professional trucker, and they get out the truck. The wife dressed real nice. The husband dressed, he got brand new jeans on. He looking clean. That's and they truck is real clean and it's brand new. That's the ones that that's the guy that's making the real money. Cause see that he ain't never got to pull over because his wife can get her ass over there and start driving. So they can afford that brand new Peterbilt. They can go out there and get that $100,000 Peterbilt. But see, that guy's making a lot of money. He's making a lot of money. He probably ain't never had an accident. He drives smart because he's older. The guys that be having all these be jackknifing, like these guys you see out here that be having all these accidents. Let me tell you something. 9 times out of 10, if they had an accident like that, I guarantee they ain't their first accident. They done had accidents like that before, whether they were minor or whatever. It's dumbasses in any industry. It's dumbasses all over the place. Like that dude that killed, damn near killed Tracy Morgan and killed his friend, his lifelong friend. That was unfortunate, man. But that was one of them dudes. See, Walmart paid pretty good, so. That's why he was out there driving and not sleeping. That's why they log books like if you notice with truck drivers and pilots, they keep their log books. That your log book is like that's your lifeline. Some companies keep strict log books. They want to see your log book because they changed the law in a lot of states. They say, hey, you can't be driving 24/7 like that. They used to do that back in the day, 20, 30 years ago. It wasn't no regulations. There wasn't no regulations back in the 70s and 80s. None. Shit. Back then, anybody could become a truck driver. The training wasn't the same. The training wasn't the same back then. Any and everybody could have drove a truck back then. And then too, the food was real horrible at these truck stops. Now they offer a lot of healthy choices. They don't just have that nasty ass soupy Salisbury steak. You know, white people love Salisbury steak. Okay. You know, white people love Salisbury steak, goddammit. Oh yeah, it'd be a lot of criminals around them real big ones, like them TA truck stops, like the ones that be in the Midwest or on the East Coast. Them truck stops back east, they be serious. Not that little Flying J shit that you pull up in that mainly cater to cars. You know, some of them truck stops used to just cater to truckers. They didn't they didn't cater to the people in cars. So, you know, that's a new thing. That's a new business model, maybe the last 20-something years, that now they cater to everybody. They don't just cater to truckers, but they try to make sure them truckers have, and then the facilities, man, they used to be nasty. I remember one time back in the 70s, I went in one of them trucker showers. Dude, it was so much stringy hair on the floor. It stunk like a toilet in there. Oh man, I was like, oh, back in the 70s, being a truck driver, they was a bunch of bums back then. They cleaned the career field up a lot the last 30 years. It used to be anybody was a trucker. Okay? Used to be, the test was a joke back in the day, 40, 50 years ago, the test was a joke. It was a joke. Right, the mileage. Right. That's why guys want to go the farthest place. That's why guys will say, okay, well, hey, boss, I'm going to take this load from San Diego to Mobile, Alabama. You see what I'm saying? And so you on I-10 the whole time. So some guys, that might be their main route, where they might be the only driver that takes that load to Mobile, Alabama. Don't nobody else want to go to Mobile, Alabama. So the more mileage you drive, the more money you make. But the problem is expenses. Your tires blow out. Let me tell you, a truck tire is $700 to $800. And you can't just put a jack on that heavy ass truck and lift that truck up and change the tire. You got to call a wrecker out. You got to drive. You got to call the truck companies, specialized companies. All they do is change. They work on they're mobile mechanics, and they have guys that they got to come out and deal with them air tires. You got an air brake system, air system. That shit is totally different than that car shit. So it might cost $2,000 for them to fix something on a truck, and the load you carrying is $1,500. Now the company. Now, if you are your own trucking company, you got to eat that cost. But if you work for JB Hunt will absorb that $2,000. Now, if it's something you did, there was some dumb shit you did, like driving and you half sleep and you had an accident, they not only gonna fire you, they're gonna end up just firing you. They'll just eat the cost. But if it's just a minor fender bender, or if it's a situation where you just keep having these little situations, they'll start charging your ass for it. So if you take that truck all the way to Mobile, Alabama every 2 weeks, you got to understand, at some point that engine gonna conk out. At some point that them tires are gonna blow. What if your tire blows on your trailer? That might make that trailer flip over. You got a lot of weight back there, and you gotta and you going fast as hell in that big heavy motherfucker. It's a lot of power behind you. And you can feel all that weight behind you. That's why after a while, those guys really need to be trained, man. You really need to know what you're doing. It ain't as easy as it looks. You got to worry about clearance over you. You got to worry about, you know, clearance, you know, used to be back in the 80s and 90s, the truck stop place, only the truckers can go in there. Now they got it fixed where you can pull those big ass trucks to any pump. They got diesel fuel. Then you got to worry about your brakes. What if you going through an area that got a lot of mountains and shit? You don't want to smoke them brakes, because you smoke your brakes going down that hill. Shit, you got $500,000. You got $500,000 pounds of weight going behind your black ass, going down a hill, and you can't stop. Oh man, shit. A lot of people done died from shit like that, man. But you got a lot of impatient truckers out here who be trying to hurry up and get where they going, drinking that coffee, taking that no-dos, and trying to stay up for 4 or 5 days in a row, trying to drop them loads off so they can get that money. And you can pull that when you 18, 19 years old, but sooner or later that shit gonna have a toll on your ass. That's why a lot of these truckers, they burnouts, man. Them guys end up being drug addicts and shit like that, because they out there on their road all the time. They're not, you know, their way of coping and dealing with that is not positive. So they get out there, they're eating that nasty, shitty food from the iron skillet. Everywhere they go, they're getting that Salisbury steak, getting that redneck special, that Salisbury steak. Hey, let me tell you something. You give a white man give one of them truckers a Salisbury steak and au gratin potatoes and some green beans. You can't tell a white man shit. He'll feel like he had Shays Whitey. He'll feel like he had Shays Whitey. 5-star cuisine. Shit, man. Oh yeah, I heard truckers hate going into New York, boy. That just getting into New York might take you, you know, where you might go into San Antonio and drop that load off and be out of there in an hour. You go to New York and shit, it might take you a half a day just to drop off a trailer. Just trying to get up in that motherfucker. All that traffic and all that bullshit you got to deal with. It might be some streets you can't drive down and all that kind of stuff. I remember one time this truck driver told me that there was this bridge that was below clearance and nobody told him. And so he you know, back then CBs were real popular. And he said that some trucker told him over the CB to go that particular way. And he think the guy told him to do that just to be an asshole. And he said he went that way and he saw that sign that said low clearance on this bridge, 12 feet. And he needed like 14 feet to clear that bridge. So you know what he had to do? He said his pissed him off. He said he had to back that long ass truck up and people had to get out of his way and it was rush hour traffic. So the state trooper had to move all those people out of the way and he had to back all the way up like a mile before he could get off the freeway. He said he was so fucking mad. He said, man, I almost quit that day. Because he had no choice but to call the state trooper and tell the state trooper, he said, man, I can't go no further. He said, all right, I'm going to help you back up. I said, God damn, man. Woo. George Washington Bridge. Yeah, I got to go to the NYC. I've been to New Jersey. I've been to Newark, but I never crossed the bridge and went into New York City. I'm planning on going to New York City this summer. I probably won't go till like September though. I don't really like going nowhere during the summer. It'd be too many tourists out here, man. I hate tourists. I hate all them Asian people with the fucking cameras. I hate that shit. I don't want to be around that shit. Goofy ass white people with they goofy asses. That's how my ex-wife was, just a goofy bitch. Just goofy like white people. Just, okay. Let's go to New York City. These be the people that go to, this is how corny this bitch was. I hate bitches that corny, that like if you go to like Magic Mountain, they got to get like a hat that say Magic Mountain on it. They got to get t-shirts for 5, 6 niggas. They want you to take them pictures where, when you and your girl got y'all Jerry curl just done and y'all get them pictures with y'all face on them. That's the kind of bitch she was. I can't stand that kind of shit. I hate that shit. I can't stand a corny bitch, man. If I take you somewhere, don't sit up here and act like you ain't never been nowhere. We got to go to all the souvenir stores. Now, I do this. Whenever I go to some of these truck stops, I buy shot glasses. I buy shot glasses for every state. I'm going to get all 50 at some point. But usually when I'm thinking about it, I'll get shot glasses for a state that say the state on there, like Texas, Washington, Oregon. I do that type of shit. But I can't stand goofy ass tourist-minded bitches. I can't stand goofy-minded bitches like that. That want every time you stop, they got to buy somebody a fucking t-shirt that said, I've been to, butt fuck Iowa. I can't stand that shit, man. Go in there and get you a Slurpee and get the fuck out of there. Go in there, get you a Slurpee, pee, go in there, take a shit, go get you a Slurpee and get your ass back in the car. Don't have me sitting up here waiting for your ass to take pictures and shit. I'm like, fuck all that shit. You get a fucking honey bun anywhere. Get your ass back up in this car. I can't stand goofy ass bitches, man. That's why I should have known that bitch had never been nowhere. That's why I tell guys, man, be careful, man. Don't get no bitch no ghetto bitch. I don't care if she college educated or not. Most of these black women that come from single female headed household, they ain't never been nowhere. They ain't never been nowhere. Maybe they've been to Vegas. Maybe they've been to the movies. That's about it. They ain't never been nowhere. So that's why a lot of these bitches like to try to sit up here and act like they've been somewhere when they ain't been nowhere. I can't stand being around women that ain't used to being, they ain't been nowhere. Can't stand it, man. Oh, there's some con artists in New York, boy. I wouldn't doubt it. It's a lot of them in these big cities, man. A lot of con artists like that. I've been conned a couple of times, on some shit. It's all good, man. Wasn't a whole lot of money, but it was still my money, But I can't stand being around people who ain't never been nowhere. I remember I went to a family reunion last summer in Kansas City, and they had all these white people up in the hotel there. I guess they were from somewhere else too. And you could tell they had never been nowhere because the kids kept running from room to room. The adults kept talking. They kept drinking all fucking day and night, talking loud and shit. And I don't like getting on the telephone and calling front desk and telling them that somebody's too loud, because I've had white people do that on me. Get these rednecks that ain't never been, don't want like being around black people, so they want to make your experience at the hotel as shitty as possible. Their baby keeps crying. Motherfucker, it's a baby. That's why. If you want to feel like you in a condo where you can't hear your people next door, take your ass to a resort. Don't stay in the country inn and suites. Oh, I was only in Newark to fly out the airport. I wasn't there to hang out. I wasn't there to hang out. Trust me. I know not to. I've dated women from Orange, New Jersey, and they told me about Newark. Yeah, Newark is shitty. Yeah, Newark. That's Brick City though. Brick City. But yeah. I know some people from Newark and Orange, or West Orange. But yeah, I got some cousins on the East Coast, man. I ain't seen them in a minute. I got some cousins up in Asbury Park. Y'all know where that is? Teaneck, New Jersey, all around that area. Oh yeah, America's a joke. America used to be fun. See foreigners with money, they fly over here to go to Miami. They fly over here to go to New York. New York is probably, as far as you know, but America used to be fun back in the 80s. It ain't fun no more. It's real expensive. When people come over here to go to Orlando, to go to Disney World, or they come over here to go to Vegas or New York, those are really, to a foreigner, those are popular destinations, but not for people like us. Because, like I said, those places are too expensive now. They used to make these amusement parks reasonable. They wasn't no $99 to get in. Disney World's $99 to get in for each adult, and it's like $79 for a kid. And you get in there and it's fucking raining the whole time. Now they building a whole nother section, Star Wars, a whole nother section of Star Wars rides and shit. Disneyland is much more fun to me than Disney World, probably because I went there first. I went to Disneyland first. I went to Disneyland when they used to have them tickets. Remember that shit back in the 70s? When you had to, you paid like real, to get in Disney World or Disneyland wasn't that expensive. It was the tickets you had to buy. Because see, Magic Mountain made Disneyland change their business model. What Disney would do is charge you like $5 or $6 to get in, and then you had to buy tickets for each ride. So if a ride took 30 tickets, you had to buy all these books of tickets, and the tickets end up being more expensive than the admission price. And people stopped going to Disneyland because of that. Because I think the first time I went to Disneyland was like 1970 or 71, something like that. It was a long time ago. I was a little kid. But I still remember going. And we couldn't find a car. And Disneyland wasn't that big back then. And we couldn't find a car. Now it's ridiculous going to Disneyland. But you got Knott's Berry Farm in Orange County. A lot of the amusement parks before they built Magic Mountain all the amusement parks were in Orange County. LA County didn't have shit. Then they built Magic Mountain. But they fucked Magic Mountain up with all them letting all the, all hood rats go to Magic. Magic Mountain used to be the shit. What people used to go after we went to graduation, motherfuckers would be like, fuck Disneyland. We going to fucking Magic Mountain. Because all the other schools would be, all their people would be going to Magic Mountain. So guys were like, hey man, we going to Magic Mountain. We ain't going to Disneyland. Because Disneyland used to have grad night. And all they had on grad night that Friday night was nothing but high school graduates. I didn't go to grad night. All my brothers went to grad night. I didn't go to grad night. I didn't want to go. I didn't feel like going all the way out there because me and my girlfriend were going. She had a car. Well, she didn't have a car. She had access to a car. I had a car, but it broke down. My parents weren't going to let me use their car. So she was like, well, we can drive. I'm like, man, I don't feel like going out there. I would have rather just, we just, laid up in the bed. I didn't want to go to that shit. Her parents was out of town, so we went and did some shit. No, take that back. They were in town because it was grad night. I'm gonna try. That must have been another time when me and her hung out. That's what that was. Her parents went on vacation. That's what it was. But anyway, man, shit. Back in the 80s, we had so much fun, man. But it wasn't terribly expensive. Now, like I said, it used to be. I remember when Applebee's was you know, there wasn't that many Applebee's. And remember back in the day, about like 25 years ago, Applebee's started picking up steam and building franchises, them and Chili's. Remember, they food was dirt cheap. You go to Applebee's and get like a damn near steak and get surf and turf for fucking $8. And even, you know, Applebee's really didn't start getting kind of expensive and pricey till maybe 10 years ago. Shit, now you go to Applebee's and spend $20. That's just on the entree. Because I don't usually get no dessert and all that shit, man. I don't be getting no dessert. You're already full from them fucking fries and them goddamn fish and chips. Yeah. They used to have this place called Astro World in Houston, man. They closed that motherfucker down. Astroland in Coney Island. I always wanted to go to Coney Island, man. I would see these movies and they show Coney Island. I was like, man, I want to go to Coney Island. But I was thinking, damn, I don't want to ride on no goddamn train, though. How big is Coney Island, man? Is that thing pretty big? Because it looked like it's kind of small. Because they used to have this place called the Pike in Long Beach, and the Pike used to they had these rides. They had these little. They had them little. They used to have those rides. Those carnival type roller coaster rides. And they go out over the water and come back. Oh, they used to have some shit down there in Long Beach. I never went, though. I never went to that shit. Because there's too many thugs out there. All them 2-1s out, them rolling 20s used to be out there. Them rolling 20, them East Side Crips. I didn't like being around that shit. Block this King Kago dude. Somebody block this motherfucker. Always got to be one. Always got to be one dickhead. Fuzzy dice. But I'm going to tell you, though, man. I used to be out there on the road all the time, man. I used to travel all the time, man. I used to take, because if somebody needed to go out of town for work, I'd volunteer because I was single. Have they added new rides to Coney Island? Because every time they show Coney Island, they always show that Ferris wheel. I hate Ferris wheels. Man, I had a couple chicks talk me into being on them Ferris wheels. Dude, I ain't never getting on a Ferris wheel where that motherfucker's flipping upside down in that fucking car. And back then, it wasn't no protection. You just in that low ass thing. You ain't got no belt on or nothing. That thing going upside down. I was like, man, don't ever get me on this shit again. I remember I went on one of them things because this chick was, kept talking about us getting on it. And we finally got on. I said, man, don't ever ask me to get on no shit like that again. I said, I do not like these things. I can get on a roller coaster because I know as soon as we go up, we going down. Damn, I gotta plug this thing up. My battery getting low. But, you know, you got to find a way to have fun. I have fun camping. You know, I used to take my kids camping. I'd like to get with some folks and go camping up here because that shit is fun, man. I love being in them tents and all that shit because I had a whole lot of camping equipment. I had a propane stove. I had a really nice tent. I had a big ass tent. Them tents are real easy to put up. They ain't like that military shit that I used to have to put up by hand. No, that shit is real easy to put up. Me and my kids put that shit up. We were good. I cooked breakfast every morning. We went around the lake. Oh, we had fun, man. But you know, man, these bitches, like I said, all these bitches want to do now is, all these women want to do now is, sit up at some restaurant. They don't want to have fun, man. All they want to do is, well, what restaurant we going to? Bitch, fuck you. We ain't going to no fucking restaurant every time we go out, bitch. You mean tell me the only thing you want to do is go to a restaurant? And see, that's why a lot of these bitches ain't never been nowhere. Because going to a restaurant ain't no big deal to me. God damn, he hung his ass at second base. God damn. That motherfucker got a cannon for a goddamn arm.
Unbelievable.
Ain't a greater feeling than throwing a motherfucker out or tagging a motherfucker out. I used to love that shit. I didn't have a real strong arm, so I didn't play outfield, but shit. Well, if I got to jump on your ass, shit. That motherfucker got a cannon for an arm. God damn. That was perfect. God damn, it's textbook. Oh, yeah, Hurricane Sandy. Yeah, I heard about that. But you know what, man? Some people be telling me that New York is popping when it comes to nightlife. Is that true? Because people that I know that are from other places that moved to New York, they said they would never live anywhere else. But people that live in New York, they be like, man, they ain't really got a lot of good things to say about New York, man. I don't know why that is, but it seemed like people that I know that moved there from somewhere else, they like, oh man, New York is popping, yo. It's always some shit open. It's always parties all the time. You can go, you can go from one borough to the other. It's some shit popping off over here. It's shit popping off over there. But it seems like you niggas that's from New York, y'all ain't got nothing positive to say. God damn. Oh, you know what but you know what? It's something I found out. You know what I found out about a lot of these American women though, dude? You know what? Let me tell you something. A lot of these women will get with you and just want to sit up in them restaurants. But yet, with these other niggas, they'll lay up at their house all weekend fucking them while they play PS4. Now, I've never had that problem, but I know whenever I've met women, new women, new pussy, when I've met new women and they start talking that let's go out to dinner shit all the time. And after a while, I just go ahead and drop that and delete that whole number out my phone because we not going to start off going to dinner all the time. We ain't going to do that. And whenever you meet a woman and all you want to do is go out to dinner, something's wrong. I'm telling you right now, she want to be romanced while, you know, her real man is just dicking her down and offering TV dinners. You know, his nigga's like, hey, bitch, there's a pot pie in the freezer. But yet for you got to be, you know, taking her to Longhorn Steakhouse every fucking time you get together. Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that. That's why every time I meet somebody and they start talking that shit, talking about let's go out to dinner all the time, I'll be like, well, which McDonald's do you want to go to? Because we ain't going to Applebee's. You ain't even earned that yet. See, I look at dating the same way I look at playing a video game like Mario Brothers. That's the way I see dating. If you want to get to the next level and get up to the next level so you can capture, you know, and save the princess in the castle with the villain, that's how dating ought to be. You have to earn the right to get to the next level. Not that you just start off right off the bat getting treated like wifey. And that's what these women don't understand. You got, on one hand, you got men who don't understand proper dating etiquette. And by the way, we're going to do a show on Saturday. We're going to talk about dating etiquette and what women should be expected, what should be expected of them and what should be expected of men. So like on one hand, you got men who don't know what the fuck they doing. They don't understand. They don't know how to spit game at women. They ain't got no game. And then on the other hand, you got women who don't have no game, who don't know proper dating etiquette. So they don't look like a wallet assassin and a resource mercenary. Because if you, here's a telltale sign in person that a woman is not into you. If you meet a woman on social media or on an online dating platform and she won't even shake your hand or give you a hug, and you've been talking to this bitch via the social media and via email and text message and all this shit and FaceTime, and you done met up with this chick maybe once or twice. And every time you meet this chick, she won't even shake your hand. Something is wrong, man. She ain't into you. And that's okay. It's okay if you meet somebody on these platforms and they ain't shit. It's okay. It ain't you, man. It's them. Move on. We're going to talk about dating etiquette and rejection on Saturday. So make sure you tune in. We'll probably start the show about 2:30, 3 o'clock Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 5 o'clock. If it's 2 o'clock here. Exactly. What's wrong with doing Netflix? You know, I've dated women that, you know, we you know what, man? I've dated women who right off the bat, when I took them to a restaurant, they were like, man, I don't really like this shit. I don't like going to restaurant. They're like, I'm just doing this because you want to do it. I said, well, I'm taking you out to dinner because I thought that's what you wanted. They like, no, I just want to, you cook really good. So I'm not just want to, your house is so relaxing. And, you know, these women come over my house and they pass out on the couch. I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? See, I don't sleep very well by myself. See, what I tell y'all, a lot of these women don't like living alone. They tolerate it because there's so much of a bitch and they can't keep no man around, no decent man. They can keep a simp around, but they can't keep no decent man around. Them bitches can't sleep in that house by themselves. Like I said, it get cold in there. It get cold out here. It get cold in that bed, man. It get cold during wintertime in that bed. Get cold for some of these bitches, man. But you don't know how to keep a man. Got to sleep in a cold ass bed with a body pillow. One thing about it, that body pillow don't have no dick on it. Now you can attach one to it, but it didn't come with a dick on it, not a real dick. Because I remember the first time I stayed over this chick house, she had a body pillow in a chair. I was like, what the fuck is that? Is that a body in there? I said, what is that, a duffel bag or something? She was like, no, that's a body pillow. And then she put it on the bed and showed me this, you know, you wrap your arms around it and sleep on it. It's like having it's supposed to substitute a human being. Now I'm like, what is this? This is women. This shit is for women. This is some stupid shit right here. Okay. Some stupid shit. But that's you know, they you know, market stuff for women. That's how you market stuff for women. That's how you market stuff for women. See, one thing about some places around the country, though, you might be able to tell a bitch, look, let's go over here to Sal's Pizza and get a slice of pizza, and maybe you can get away with that. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm just tired of going to Applebee's and Chili's. That's just my attitude. I'm tired of going those places. I'm tired of going to the same old shit. But you know, these women can never graduate from anything beyond that because they're such assholes. Yeah, I heard them subways, boy. I heard niggas be throwing in New York, boy. I'm like, man. That's why I can always tell a New York nigga, man. Them niggas be out of place, boy. Them niggas be out of place, especially when like out in California. That's why I remember one time I was at Fox Hills Mall and I saw Chuck D and Flavor Flav. They were cool as hell, man. Them niggas look rough, and they had some rough-ass chicks with them. They had some real rough-ass chicks with them, man. I said, these motherfuckers from back east. They had cuts all over their faces. These are rough-looking black women. But like I said, you know, I just but you know what? Most of the people that I hear about that say New York is real fun is white girls. Women in general, but white girls. They say, because it seems like white girls are always talking about, oh yeah, we went to this party, we went to this club, we went to this. And it seems like it's fun. When you look at shit like Sex in the City, you think New York is just popping. You know what I'm saying? Chicago is a lot like New York, but it's just maybe not as big. But Chicago niggas, they a different breed in Chicago. One thing about New York, you can come from somewhere else and move there and live, but Chicago, you can't just move to Chicago. Chicago people don't let you in like that. Chicago people, they're a closed society. That's why if I got this cousin that live in Minneapolis. Me and him was talking one time, and he said, man, I went to Chicago, man, them niggas wouldn't even talk to me. He said, man, I drove from Minneapolis to Chicago to party. I had about $1,200 in my pocket. He said, man, them niggas, boy. He said, man, I didn't have that much fun, man, because I was trying to holler at these bitches, and these bitches wouldn't holler at me. They wouldn't holler back. I said, God damn. How about them cabs, man? Because a lot of New York niggas don't have cars, right? So is it real expensive to not have a car and be cab hopping? Yeah, I got to go to Harlem. That's what I want to go to New York for, is to go to Harlem. Because somebody was telling me, said, dude, man, if you want to get some clothes, nigga, that's where you go get clothes in New York. See, a lot of people used to say that about LA. People come out to LA and be like, LA is the best thing since concrete. And I'm like, nigga, really? I'm like, nigga, I lived out here. It ain't all that. So I guess that's probably the same kind of mentality. See, I took a chick. I drove down. When I lived in Des Moines, I used to date white girls in Chicago. And I remember the time I drove down to Chicago, and this white chick, she lived in Schaumburg or somewhere like that. Schaumburg or it was on the north side of town, because I didn't know that. I knew how to get to south side. I didn't know how to get to the north side. And so I was late picking her up and shit. We saw a Denzel movie. That was the last time I heard from her. Yeah, I like to go. I like to check out their clothes, because everybody I know that lives somewhere else to say they go to New York. That's where, that's where fashion starts, in New York. Yeah, LA used to be fun back in the day, but that gang shit just ruined LA, man. But in the in the 80s, that the gangs have always been an issue, but it was in check in the 80s. When that crack shit popped off, it just got way out of control. Plus, the LAPD used to just leave the gangs alone. But when they start killing, innocent people, that's when they start coming after the gangs, because sometimes they kill white folks. And if that happens, you got to die, nigga. White folks don't get killed. Okay, we ain't gonna have that shit. But LA ain't no fun no more. The club used to be able to go to the hood in the 70s and 80s in LA and party. It wasn't, like I said, back in the 60s and early 70s, it wasn't uncommon to go to a club or a bar in South Central and Bill Cosby was up in there. That's just how it was. But now it's too dangerous now, But Chicago has never really been my town. I've talked to a lot of people that tried to party in Chicago, and they was like, man, I tried to party with my cousins, and I didn't get it. I didn't get the culture. And plus, they just wasn't open to new people. You know what I'm saying? So like LA is an open society. You can come from anywhere. You got a lot of people from all over the world that move to LA because of the weather in Hollywood, but they get out there and get caught up. A lot of bitches get out there and get caught up and they can't get in. They thought they was just going to show up and get off the Greyhound bus and become an actress. And they got out there and went out on those casting calls. And there was 100,000 white girls there that looked 10 times better than they do. And the bitches was like, well, I don't want to leave. I ain't going back to Kansas. So them bitches end up driving out going out there where I used to go to high school. They drive out there to Chatsworth and get with TT Boy. Next thing you know, you see that bitch on Evasive Angles. Okay? Next thing you know, that bitch is doing porn. I done seen that shit, man. Man, it used to be this Mexican chick I used to go to high school with that ended up doing porn. Man, I couldn't believe that shit. I saw that bitch in one of them fucking nudie magazines. I said, Donna? Wait a minute, Donna's doing porn? Oh, I couldn't believe it, dude. I told my nigga, I said, remember that little short Mexican dude? I mean, that short Mexican, little cute little Mexican chick named Donna? Shit, that chick did porn for a minute. Yeah, you're right. Right. LA. If you get rid of the Mexicans, LA will be popping in that gang shit. Right. You can, it like that's just like going to, if you go to Dallas, like Dallas back in the 80s, Dallas was wide open in the 80s. So you can go to Dallas and get down with some folks. But Houston was different. You could just roll the, Fifth Ward in Houston and hang out with them niggas. Houston wasn't open like that. You know what I'm saying? San Diego is better, but man, you got too many Filipinos in San Diego, man. San Diego is popping if you go over there off of I-8, Interstate 8, I-8, and where's that? I-8 and 805, I think that is. No, 805 and shit, what is that freeway, man? I can't remember it. It goes up to it goes through downtown. I think it takes you from Mission Bay area. Like, I like that Mission Bay area. It's a real nice mall over there in the Mission area. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I just hate I hate hearing the motherfuckers talk, man. I hate that shit. Yeah, Wrigley Field, man. I always wanted to go to a Cubs game over there at Wrigley Field, but they're like, "Hey, dude, you ain't gonna." That's like trying to go to a Redskin game. You ain't gonna just get no tickets to no Cubs game. Because next time I go down to San Diego, I think I'm gonna go to a Padres game. I've never been over there at Petco Park. I heard Petco Park was real nice. But one thing about baseball games are real slow. I can't sit there for too long. I got to be high or drunk. Who's this Iceberg J motherfucker? What are you asking stupid questions, man? Don't come in here late asking stupid questions. Let me turn this light on, man. It's getting dark in here. Y'all can't see my face. I don't even use these lamps over here. Have y'all heard of Kirkland's? Kirkland's is like Pier 1. They're like Pier 1 and they're like more like Pier 1. I mean, they got some expensive stuff in there, but they got some pretty reasonable stuff in there too. I got these big ass lamps, man. These lamps are like $130, but I got a military discount. So I end up getting them for cheaper than that. But man, these lamps are they just gangster. They fucking gangster. I want to get 2 or 3 more of them. I don't want to buy a house right now. I want to rent one. So I'm probably going to rent one after I move out of here. But man, I ain't in no rush. I can't be in an apartment too much longer, man. I can't be in an apartment too much longer. These people are so fucking rude, man. And then too, you get these hating ass white dudes that be trying to mean mug you and shit. Oh, that nigga, he live over there by himself. You got people over here. You got some of these people in 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartments, and they got 3 or 4 people living up in there. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it, man. Dude, I'm in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, and I still ain't got enough room. You got some people around here they got 2 or 3 kids. I'm like, you got all them kids living in 1 bedroom, dude. Ain't a good idea, man. Yeah, since they won that World Series, man, they probably, I ain't never been to Comiskey Park either. I had some of my relatives live near Comiskey Park off that Dan Ryan. I used to take that Dan Ryan from the airport. That's a long ass ride, man. That's like 2.5 hours. I'm like, God damn. And my aunt was like, I told you, you should have called us before you came out here, man. They're like, man, I could have came and got you. I'm like, man, I ain't want to be stressing nobody. But I had fun though. I remember one time I flew to LA to Chicago, man. Now I had some fun. Me and my aunts had fun. And we had fun. That was a good time, man. That was back when you used to fly on a plane and they used to be able to smoke on the plane. Y'all remember that? Back in the 80s, motherfucker used to be able to smoke on the plane. You can't do that shit now, though. Yeah, niggas used to be able to smoke on the plane, man. Back in the 70s and 80s, hell yeah. Man, that whole plane smelled like cigarettes, smelled like an ashtray. I hated that shit. Well, they had smoker sections. Like you can really trap that smoke in a goddamn airplane. Like, fuck you people, man. Y'all see what they be doing with these airlines now, man? Them motherfuckers be charging for every little goddamn thing. And then too, the big airlines well, Delta's pretty good. I usually fly Delta. I haven't flown another airline in almost 10 years. I don't fuck with American no more. American burnt me. They burnt me. I was like, I'm done with you. I'm done with y'all. I ain't flown United in years. But I usually fly Delta because Delta's for a big carrier, they're cheap as fuck. And for all the cities I need to fly to are usually their major hubs. So I save a lot of money flying, places like Minneapolis, St. Paul, Atlanta. It's real cheap to fly to Atlanta or Minneapolis on Delta from anywhere in the country. There's a couple of times I flew back and forth from San Antonio to Minneapolis and back for $300 or $280 round trip. That's unheard of. Hell, I flew from Portland to San Antonio and I had to stop at LAX and that ticket was only $200 some. But that was one way though. No, that was one way though. And that was $100 something. It was like $180 one way. Might have been right, with tax and everything, it was $200. Yeah, that take your shoes off. All that's bullshit, right? Taking your shoes off and all that. All that was white corporate America got paid for them x-ray machines. Now they got them real expensive machines they said they wasn't gonna never approve, but they approved them. And now when you go in there and you put your arms up like this, those x-ray machines are controversial because they get into your bone. That radiation gets into your bones and shit. Okay. And so those machines now, if used to be, you could still take some weed on the plane. You just, you can imagine where people put it at. Cause I know some guys that told me they girl put, they rolled some blunts and put them in some sanitary, they put it in some bags and sanitized them and stuck them up their old lady's coochie. That's the only way they had weed. But you can't do that now. You can't do that now. You get on there and got stuff stuck up your ass, up your coochie. Oh no, they're gonna see that on that machine. And they're gonna pull you to the side. They're gonna say, sir, would you like to come with us, please? Do I have a choice? You said, would I like to come with you? Can I say I would not like to? Okay. Oh man, shit. But traveling, they fucked it up, man. Talk about it's because of 9/11. No, it ain't because of 9/11. You motherfuckers up to no good. Do you know those machines have cost the government billions of dollars for those corporations? They created a revenue stream for all these fucking companies to come in and rape us and then have us sitting there. I hate flying through Atlanta Airport, Hartsfield Airport. I hate going through Hartsfield. I hate going through there, man. It take me almost an hour and a half just to get to the baggage claim area. And then that's the most crowded airport in the United States. Atlanta Hartsfield is probably more crowded than JFK. Because I think JFK was the busiest airport in the country for a long time. And then when Atlanta did that major expansion of their airport, they just overtook them. Yeah, man. Greyhound. Shit, man, you liable to be next to somebody with HIV on Greyhound. Only thing about Greyhound, you probably get some stanking motherfucker sitting next to you. That's the only thing about Greyhound, man. I could see in an emergency. I only take the Greyhound when it's an emergency. If I can't get a plane ticket, I just got to get out of town. You know, sometimes I try to take that what's they call that the party bus or something bus where they got the double-decker buses. Megabus, right. Man, I took that shit. Man, that shit is way better than Greyhound. Woo, it's better than Greyhound. The only problem is they don't have a whole lot of stops. And sometimes their stops are fucked up. I had to take Megabus to Arizona one time. And man, dog, it ain't nothing nice. Man, we had to stop in Memphis. And we had to be there all night. They stopped. We got in Memphis about 2-something. And man, the bus station is like a regular transit station. So it's, man, it didn't have enough seats to sit down. I was exhausted. I had been up all night. Man, we had to be there till like 6 a.m. So we had to spend 4 hours. No, it was like 3.5 hours. We had 3.5 hours to kill. Can you imagine that? And it was freezing in Memphis. Man, it was cold as shit. I didn't like that. I said, oh, this will never happen again. But I didn't have no choice. I couldn't get a flight out of there. And Greyhound was too much because it was last minute. But Megabus, they got, outlets up there so you can plug your phone in. So I like that. But it's still too many motherfuckers that ride Megabus. Megabus is dirt cheap, but it'd be too many people on there, man. But if you got time to kill and you got resources, it's not a bad thing, because if it get too fucked up, you can always hop your ass on a plane or rent a car and drive. I just rent a car and drive, man. That's what I do sometimes. I just rent a car, man, because I don't like getting stuck nowhere, man. And sometimes you take the Greyhound and they pull up in a city at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you got to sit some stinking ass bus station for 3-4 hours till they open. That shit is not cool, man. Then you got all them stinking ass poor people all over, all them old nasty ass fucking sick people. I remember one time I took a Greyhound, man, I got sick as hell. Right, exactly. They have no enclosed stops. Yeah, Delta be charging for all kind of shit, man. But what, here's what I do. I either fly first class or I just get as long as I get a window seat and coach, I'm good. Because I ain't paying extra for no extra leg room. I'm short. So being on a plane is perfect. It ain't bad for me to be on a plane. But they are making these planes smaller because I'm 5'7.5", and I've been on some Delta planes that was so fucking crowded, my knees were hitting the seat in front of me. I said, "Oh no," because they said they were gonna put extra seats in these planes. But it really depends on if you can get your flight 7 to 14 days out. If you fly Delta all the time like I do, and you can get your flight 7 to 14 days out, oh, you can get a dirt cheap ticket. Even first class is dirt cheap. I'm gonna start flying Alaska Airlines because I was gonna go to Hawaii, and I looked online for Delta, and Delta was high as fuck. Delta was like $800 round trip, and Alaska Air was like $400 round trip, nonstop to Honolulu. I'm probably gonna go over there to Hawaii next year, but right now I'm just chilling, man. They got to get that lava situation taken care of. Even though I ain't flying to the main island, I know it's got to be, I don't know how far those islands are apart from each other, but I heard the big islands aren't that far away from each other, maybe like 20, 30 miles. But 20, 30 miles on water, that's a long way. Especially if you're trying to still be within the state. But hey, you guys, do me a favor, man. Go by AskTheIceman.com. Remember, this is $5. This is $5 Tuesday. Go by AskTheIceman.com and donate. Okay, donate $5 today. Come on, y'all. We got to get up to 10,000. We're close to 8,500. We got 1,500 to go and change. Let's go ahead and make this shit happen. Okay. Go ahead, $5, man. Come on. Let's get it popping. $5 Tuesday. Let's make this thing happen. I'm still for fundraising. We haven't reached our goal yet. Let's go ahead and get that popping, y'all. Hey, check this out, man. I'm gonna call it a night. You guys go by AskTheIceman.com for information on the Iceman Show. Go by AskTheIceman.com for information on my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1. If you haven't got my book, go get it. If you have it, but you know some shorties out here that need the book, go get it for them. Tell a friend to subscribe to the Mad Voodoo Man channel. Tell a friend about my channel. Tell a guy at your job. Say, hey man, you look like you need some game. Tell him about the Iceman. All right. So go to AskTheIceman.com for information on that. If you need life coaching, check out some of my packages. Email me if you have questions. If you're not following me on Twitter, go to Twitter, The Iceman Show at Mr. Freeze. And then also follow me on Instagram, The Iceman Show. Just put in The Iceman Show and my page will pop up on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram too, so you can get up-to-date information on The Iceman Show. So, hey, everybody, $5 Tuesday. Let's donate today. Remember, Saturday, we're going to do Tuesday and Saturday, but we may, I accidentally did a show last night. But we're going to do a show Saturday. You know, probably, like I said, we'll probably try to get online about 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so go to AskTheIceman.com. Get your shit popping. Got my Buffalo Soldiers hat on for all you vets out there. I saw this hat and I had to get it. You had to get it. I had to pay homage. You dig? Some of them cats are buried at Fort Sam Houston. And I'll see y'all Saturday.